Hello, friends. Excited today to talk to you about this sweet peach stamp set. It's not one that I normally probably would have um, purchased, but honestly, this set is just so versatile and good for so many things. I thought I would show you. I attended uh, a demonstrator class, I guess, last week. And I just wanted to show you some of the projects that we made and then, talk a little bit about some things that you could do. So that's the set. There's some little jars in the catalog and very easy just to cover the lids with a piece of designer series paper and then wrap some twine around it. You could then attach a tag if you wanted to. You could put, these are like little peach candies, but you could put, anything in here really that you wanted to give as a gift. Made a little tag. This was on our things when we got there, so that's a great tag. They had some mango peach tea bags in here, which I of course have already drank. So luckily I had some country peach of my celestial seasonings, and that fit in here. Just putting this as on one of our just clear envelopes. I want a bone folder, and this is how that was packaged, again, just with the little tag that makes it look really cute. And then this was a Post-it note holder. So this would sit up on the desk, and you'd have a peachy day and then have this. So this is like the easel cards that we did. So those were some of the non-card things. We also made a little purse that you could use to put all your cards in, if you were going to give to somebody as a gift. So that also worked really well with the designer series paper. So I'll go through and show you all these cards, and then we'll make a couple of them that are just really super simple. So here's one, Peachy Day. And this one is cut to open this way, but you could just as easily have it open from side to side. Here's another one. Again, we're opening from the, top to bottom instead of side to side, but you could do it either way. Here's a card where you've got just a single base, and then you've got the tag that pulls out. And on this also, I should point out, let's see if I can find it. She had made us some delicious peach cookies, and I think it was her mother's recipe. And she also gave us then the recipe that you could include inside of the envelope. And I, of course, don't see it right now. But anyway, you could put, a recipe on the back of here if you wanted to. But that just to pull out and sign it. And then we have one of these. I've always called these a scene card, because when you open it up, these three panels will make a scene. We did one at Christmas time, and here's another one using the peach paper. And then here's another one just using a single piece as the base here, and then you have the pull out. Again, this is all using the designer series peach paper. And here, this one has, oh, that might be where my recipe is. No. Oh, there it is. There's that recipe I was talking about. And then the other one has a belly band. You pull that off, and the card opens like this. And I just realized I have ink on there, so I'll take my eraser and try to get that off. All right, so you can see I'll describe a couple of these and then we'll make a few, but this one is just folded so that you have this piece that folds in, and on the front you have a piece that folds in, and just look how cute that is. Just putting these two panels here and then covering the front using the belly band to keep it closed. Slide that back on. So very cute card. This one, again, like I said, we've just got the fold out with the background. Makes a really, really easy card. You can, on these, if you want to do more than just sign your name, you can write on the back of the card. Okay, again, with the scene card, if you want more area to write on than just there, again, the back is available. Okay, and we're going to just look at making these straight. So, let's start with the first one. And I'm not using the peach paper for this because I had already used a lot of peach paper, so I thought I'd just use another piece in my stash. All right, so you've got your card base. Again, on here, I've just folded it long ways instead of, coming this way, but you could do either. And all you're going to do is take your designer series paper, which of course is always two-sided, and you're just going to cut off about 1.5 inches on the one side. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to adhere this on here, and all I'm doing is just turning this upside down and putting that there. And then you can see, like we did here, we attached a piece of ribbon between the two, put the little sentiment on there. But how easy can this be? Where all you're doing is taking the piece of paper that you cut and turning it upside down on one side. So easy, easy. The second one is this card. And on this one, we start with a piece. Again, I've got the base, same, 4 1/4, 5 1/2, like we always do. Okay, and then I've got a piece of 4 by 4. All right, so this is 4 inches by 4 inches. So if you will take your trimmer, and you're going to start at 1 1/2 inches down here, and you're going to cut up to 1 inch on this side. So to do that, see, you can mark it if you want to, or you can just line it up. So if I start at 1 1/2, I'm going to mark it. I honestly don't remember if I marked it last time or if I just cut it, but just to make it easier, I'm going to cut it. So, I'm going to mark it. So I'm going to say 1 1/2 is right there, and 1 is right there. So I've got it cut at I've got it marked at 1 inch on one side and 1 1/2 on the other. And if you'll line up those two in your well, and again, the measurements on this aren't, if you wanted to use 1 3/4 and 1 1/4 or something, you could absolutely do that. All right, and then all I'm doing here, this one I ended up cutting the other way, is just separating them. And when you do that, see, that leaves you then enough room, like we have here, that you can stamp something in there. So just by starting with the piece of 4 by 4 paper, cutting it at an angle, and again on this, my trimmer needs a new blade, I think. You can always just sand the edges if they look a little frayed. There we go. All right, so then I would just lay that on the card, stamp my sentiment. You could add, on this one we added a peach, but you could add a flower or something on here if you wanted to. And that makes a super simple card. Okay, and then the third one I'll show you is the tag card. All right, where you start with a piece of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, and then I've added a mat of 4 by 5 1/4 of the black. Here it was white and Calypso coral. Right, and then you're going to take a piece of 3 by 4, so it's 3 inches this way and 4 inches that way, and you're just going to cut it diagonally. Again, I'm lining up this corner and that corner in the well, and then I'm just going to cut. Okay, and then I'm going to put one here, flip this, and put the other one there. Okay, if you'd rather have the stripes on this side, then no, can't do it, but you could put the stripes underneath. Okay, so if your paper has directionality, you might want to make sure that you are watching that. And again, I could use the tear and tape on this, or I can use my Stamp and Seal, which was working just fine. Maybe this is the one I was using, sorry. I'm going to have the stripes on the top Again, we don't want to put any adhesive here, just on the edge and on the edge, because we want to have a place to stick our tag down in there. I use the adhesive all day, and it never gives me any trouble until I start looking on the video. Okay, and then I just made a little tag that will stick right down in there. Okay, and that's the same as this one. So again, we'll go through these. This is a real quick one, but it's a great way to use up your designer series paper. Cutting a piece of 4x3, just cutting it diagonally, and then putting that as your little pouch that's going to hold onto the tag. We can take a piece of 4x4 and just cut it diagonally from 1 inch on one side to 1.5 on the other. And that will leave us a nice little well that we can write in, like we did on this one. Here, all we did was take our regular matted size piece at 4 by 5.25, cut 1.5 inches off the bottom, and then just flip it. And then you can add a little piece of ribbon or whatever you want to do there. I'll go back over these other ones. This is our scene card. I have not given you the dimensions for that today, but I will send something out because I think that really looks cool when you put that out, you know, to have a scene there where everything flows. You can have one where you just have the base and then have the card actually be the part that pulls out. And then you could have the card that we had with the belly band. Again, it just gives it a little bit of interest to have those two folds there. Then we made they gave us a Post-it note holder that's a little easel. You can make a topper for one of the clear envelopes and put some peach tea in there. You could make just a tag. You can make a little topping for the jars that we have in the catalog, and I think it different like Halloween and things like that, you could just fill these with candies. I think that would be a really cute idea. And then we made the purse that we can put now all of these cards in and envelopes, and then I would give those, you know, you could give those to somebody as a gift. So I hope that you have enjoyed seeing some possibilities of what you could do with Sweet as a Peach. And you'll probably see this on my card buffet coming up. I hope you have a great day.